Good evening and welcome back. So, I uploaded a new build yesterday evening, and that's available on the Discord to test out. I already got a bit of feedback, um, and that resulted in a few issues that I have as bugs in here. Um, and I want to look if I can fix these or change the mechanics so that it feels a bit better. Um, let's first jump into this here. Let's see if we can look at that. When an object is held, it uses physics to rotate around, has no weight, or is not easy to control. That's mostly happening in the tutorial level, or it's only happening in the tutorial level if I'm honest, because there I'm using it for to show mechanics that I'm not using somewhere else. So let's see. Here we have this crate, and this crate needs to go on this pressure plate. So if we jump in here, and there's another thing that I also noticed, all the ceilings here are missing or broken in that regard, that they don't have a mesh associated with them. So let's jump in here, current camera position, and okay, so we need to go through these first. Some of this here I will change. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why I'm using physics for that. I just wanted to, like a lot of other things, I just wanted to try it out and see if it works, but it doesn't really work. Okay, we don't have a light crystal, which makes this whole thing here a bit annoying. Oh, awesome. The table doesn't have a collision set up for it. Thing is, the items themselves have physics controls on it, so they can be used with physics and stuff like that. But if I'm picking it up, let's see, what am I doing there? First person blueprint. Okay, this is, if I'm pressing E, then this happens. So, quite sure why this is so big. Okay, here I'm grabbing the item. So we get the control rotation, get the forward vector, and have a distance. And we have the first person camera here with world location. Yeah, there need to be lights in there anyway and stuff like that, but at the moment it's dark for some reason. I mean, there's no light, so it makes sense that it's completely dark, but the light crystal should be there. I'm not quite sure why it wasn't there. Probably fell through the table and through the world as a result. That happens sometimes. Now let's have a look at that. Did it fall through? Yeah, it completely fell through. Completely fell through the world. That's not good. But I think in the build it wasn't that. Let's just open up the build and see what happened there. So let's start a new game. Click through this without reading it. Okay. Okay, here we have it sitting on the table. So activate it. There we have the key. Which unlocks this. Here we have that guy. He's not in a T-pose. He's in idle. I mean, there's a lot of pokes through here because I could remove a lot of the underlying geometry, but it works. And if I press E, this happens. Yeah, I think another issue is that the pressure plate itself doesn't look in very good. So you don't really see proper feedback here that it's pushed down. But as long as the lights are on, it worked. Yeah, we have no feedback here, other than the lights flickering and this thing going on. But I want to change this here so that this rotates or stuff like that. Yeah, and then we can jump in here. And then it loads the big world. Oh, that's interesting. So you can't see it but in the lower right corner there was a small loading indicator that was working, but only for a few seconds. So you get some kind of feedback, but it's really not that visible. Okay, so let's jump back here. So, oops, yeah, damn it. Way too fast. So this thing needs to get feedback, visual feedback. This needs to be changed so that it's not using physics. And yeah, the idle is a bit strange, that's true. Not sure, to be honest. I think, yeah, there are a few profilers and that stuff, but I need to look up how they work again. So that's nothing I want to do today. But okay, this is just an item actor. So what are we doing here? So okay, that's what we're doing. So if I do this, it should stay in one position. Okay, for some reason we don't have that crystal. Oh, yeah, I can jump into that in a minute. Give me a second. Let's do that so that we have the light crystal. But I think that if the light crystal is not in here, the key won't be here as well. Yeah, no key. Because for some reason they are simulating physics, fall down, and the tables don't have collision set up properly. This one is one of the old ones. Should have collision. Yeah, this has collision. Yeah, okay, this one doesn't have collision. Let's change that. That's all we need for this. Let's save it. Okay, why is this not showing up at all? Oh, I have an idea why. Let's move this up here. Stop this. And let's see, do we have a... No, we don't have a light crystal. But there's no key. No light crystal. Damn it. So, inventory, item actor. Let's not do that. Okay. Oh. Yeah, okay, I think... Now I can pick up those things forever. So let's not do this. The hell? Okay, I know what's happening here. But the key should be here. Nope, it isn't. So I thought the light crystal wasn't there because it's removed, because we already have the light crystal in our inventory. but that's not the case. It's not there because it disappears. Okay, there's nothing really to simulate here. So this should stay there and do nothing. Same here. For some reason, it's not doing that properly. And I think what you meant was the shader complexity. You mean this? Oh, okay. This is double, that's why this is happening there. Okay, let's do something else here. Let's go through these and where's this movable? Should be static. Let's set this to static here so it can't be moved at all. Okay, so it's not that. It's something completely different. These are gone. Okay. So the item reference should be set on this properly. So let's see if the item reference is correct. Let's see, this is the tutorial key. Yeah, this is 200, 116. 200, 116, yeah, that's correct. The world mesh is also correct. So that should be set for this item. Set world mesh. Mesh reference. I think this might be an issue. This is called too late. Let's do that. Nope. Okay, it's not the world mesh, it's something different. I thought I had this issue at some point and had fixed it, but I sadly can't remember what I did to fix it. What's the issue here? Why? Light crystal has this here. And it's also set up here. But it's not created anymore because I unhooked the construction script. So let's do that. Try it again. Okay, it's not there. I have no idea what's happening here. It's strange. Because even on the build it worked, and I'm not quite sure why this is happening. So let's do something else. There are a lot of other things that we still need to fix here. Let's jump into I'm trying to figure out why my items are not showing up. But it's only happening in the editor, and it didn't happen on the build. But I haven't done a new build yet, so Not quite sure what the issue is there. Okay, yeah, the only thing that we are doing for the switch actor here is activating the connected particle system and setting a condition here if it has a condition. So the first thing we should do is get a bit of visual feedback here. So take this and can we rotate that? Set relative rotation. Just to get a bit of feedback. So the static mesh. Let's just get this here. So that we have something here to play with. Okay, I know why I didn't have the rotation there. Because the pivot for this is different. And this is stationary. That's the other thing why we are not rotating it. So let's change this to movable. Hello, Raiders from Gemalife. How are you? And then let's see, that would be in X. If I have this rotated 15 degrees. So it's not that much, but we see a difference. Let's just try that. Oh, oh no. I see what the issue is. Kind of screwed myself with my own setup. The issue is that for some reason the game mode is not started properly, so we don't have access to the condition list, and nothing works as a result. print. So the thing is, if I do this, go through here, blah, 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 start game, or no, I can just go back to the main menu. And on the main menu, if I do this now, okay, it breaks completely. Hope that is it. Yeah, okay, now we have the items here. And it should run through it. So the problem is that some part was not loaded correctly. If I'm just in that level. Oh, and this is only visible if I pick this up, I think. So the pickup doesn't work anymore. Yeah, the problem is now it should fall down, but it doesn't do that because I completely disabled everything there. Yes. Okay, let's see. On begin play. Let's do this here again. Compile that. So we don't have this visible at the moment, and nothing happens here because the condition is false. So if I pick this up, nothing happens. Okay, now it's completely broken. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I need to set it back to movable, otherwise it doesn't work. Okay. Okay, this needs to simulate physics. Otherwise it doesn't move. That's the issue here. But I somehow need to figure out why this is moving that much. I think it has to do with the item itself, that the item doesn't have these parameters here set up properly. So there's no mass, there's no no constraints, and all that stuff set up for the item. I think that might be the issue. So if I go here, so I can't set those up here. I need to set them for the base actor. So for instance, if I lock all the rotations here, shouldn't move around that much. Hopefully. Okay, that's it. Okay, and now we have some crude but feedback here. Because the pivot is down here, that's why the rotation goes there. Need to change the pivot to the center of the object, and then I can rotate it around. I also need to add a sound. Let's see, switch actor. So let's get this here done, and we also need to play a sound. Let's see. Screech. Let's look through our sounds here. Oh, not look, but test our sounds and find one that we can use. This is just the particles and no sound in it, I think. Particles, meshes, materials. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, let's take this one. It's not. So take that, but this one here. Let's play that at that location where the particle system starts, so that we see change in front of us and visual change in front of us and sound behind us. Even though I kind of want to have both, so let's duplicate those and then let's do this. Here. Set this active. Play the sound. And there should be sounds here somewhere. Engine sounds. No. sound am I playing here? Pickup sound. What is this? Okay, so we got the feedback there. So if we jump over here, then that's the it's this one, and let's have the bug fixed. This is also fixed, even though I need to fine-tune it again, so it's okay. So this thing here is something that we also can have a look at. Confirmation dialogues. Every time you open a door, you get a dialogue, get stopped by it, and that can be annoying if it's happening too much. So let's change that. What am I doing there? I think it's on the door. Yeah, the thing is here on successful interaction and on failed interaction, we are opening up the widget, which can be annoying, or is annoying. Let's call it that. It is annoying. So let's change that. We do have a reference to the player here. Let's get that. And what we can do instead is add this to the journal. Because here we are also setting a condition, and in here. No, and on the player. Yeah, here we are also adding this to journal and then set the condition. So we basically want to have this happen. But then I need to add those entries into the journal basically. Journal entry from dialog. And let's see. Get journal entry data. Let's change this slightly. Or let's create a new function. Add directly to journal. So what we want to do here is ignore all the rest here and just take the last bit. We get this and this from here. And we do need to get the date. For the name, let's convert our title to the name. It's not compatible. Okay, let's promote a variable. utilities, string, text. So let's do 2 conversions here, even though it's a bit ugly. Let's change this. Entry name. And then it should be added in here. And on the door, no, not on the door, but on here, we want to add directly to journal. So this is the name. This is the entry. And we also want the player ref. Now let's add another thing here so that we do all this in here and not in the interaction base actor. So let's add a new event, custom event at journal entry directly. This. Then we want that. And we want the title and text. title, we want this as well. Branch here. Okay, and here I want the title converted to string. Okay, now we have this condition here, so if we want to set the quest list, then we can do that. And we could also add this stuff here, so let's take the whole thing back here. And then we're setting both of those. So we set the condition, we set the quest. But only if we need to update that, so otherwise we don't. Do all that stuff. Okay. Let's compile this. Go in here. What did I call it? Agile entry directly. So successful interaction goes here. And we also have this stuff, which we can use the has condition here for. Good. Down here. Wait, no, this is supposed to be false, because if the text is not empty, then this is happening, otherwise nothing happens. Let's remove that. Copy this down here. And for the failed interaction, we don't need that. So, yeah, forgot to set that. Okay. There we go. Just need to give the door a proper name, and then this works. Okay. So that part is done as well. This one is fixed. Okay. The camera placement and dialogues. This is part of a bigger problem, because in some cases the NPC we are talking to isn't standing still or is not in position to talk to the player properly, which causes the camera to be below ground and or in a really awful position for the dialogue. What I need to do here is make sure that if I have a trigger that causes a dialogue, that all the that's happening, but the problem is more that if I'm not walking up to them, click them, but the dialogue is triggered by a zone, then sometimes the characters are not in place yet, or are just walking around somewhere else, and then it causes a lot of issues. So I need to make sure that the zones are only active if the characters are in place, or that the characters are in the area all the time, something like that. I need to make changes to the way the triggers work there. But let's close all this for a moment. And let's have a look at something else. Let's have a look at the town. You wanted to know why the area is probably loading too long, and if it has something to do with the with loading in this cave. So let's check this. Let's check shader complexity. Oh, what the hell? Oh, okay, I know what's happening here, but that's okay. Even though we have a lot of doubles here as well. So I can remove those. Wait. What is this? Oh, okay, that's the void beyond the level. But I think this is mostly, the issues here are mostly because the complete area isn't loaded yet. Yeah, as you can see here, this is all red because there's nothing there. This is red or white because there's a lot of overdraw, a lot of transparency on these. Because of transparency. I am cutting, not cutting out, but I'm painting part of the terrain transparent and also remove any collision with it. That's part of the terrain, the landscape system here. I have this visibility brush here, which masks out specific parts of the terrain, and that makes this area more expensive for the shader to calculate. But it's not that bad, because once you're through this, it's no problem anymore. It's only one-sided. And these are also bad because they have transparency on them. So you can see they are partially red. And if we look here and through two windows, it's also quite red over here. But that's just transparency issues. It shouldn't cause this to slow down that much. I think it's more the thing that I have some lights overlapping here or other issues like that. So if I set this to lit, let's have a look. How are these lights set up here? Okay, they're static, so they should be okay. Yeah, I think the issue is that the lights are not baked properly. Even though for the build they should have been. It's a bit strange. Let's just jump in here and see if we have issues here as well, performance-wise. Oh, let's do something else. Let's get some stats here. Let's see. Yeah, we have a bit over 60 frames here, but it goes down here. It's okay here, we turn around, it goes to 40 or 30, goes up again. Okay, it's really bad here, but that's going to town here, and the editor is still rendering everything, so that's why it's going back, but in game that shouldn't be a problem. Still. Still quite bad. Yeah. It has two reasons. Reason number one, I wanted to have something without fighting. Reason number two, I didn't want to create a fighting system, animations, all that stuff, because I didn't create the animations that I'm using here, and the characters are also kind of crappy, even though they don't look it sometimes. So kind of wanted to create an adventure game, old school adventure game, but in an open world with exploration aspects mixed in. So there's no violence, there are no stats. It's just simple stuff. Okay, you have an inventory for items. Then We have a quest log. We have a journal. But that's all mostly feedback stuff, apart from the inventory. And you can only use certain aspects in the game if you have the proper items in your inventory. You don't need to equip them. um, no minimap, but you can get a map if you pick up the map item. Yeah, and there are no stats, so there's no survival, nothing like that. It's just running around, talking to people, picking up items, basically. Yeah. Yeah, the total immersion is a bit broken by the aspect that I don't really know how to create some animations so that you can have a pickup animation so that you can see the hand grabbing something, or for the light crystal, if I press L. Okay, we don't have the light crystal on us. Yes. So I just tried to press L, which is the key for the light crystal, but there's the light crystal here. If I press L now, you see that floating crystal there, or the floating lamp there. But I wanted to have the hand attached to the lamp, or the lamp attached to the hand holding it up, so and moving it around slightly. But at the moment it's just floating. Yeah, that's how I'm solving it at the moment. Another thing I wanted to add in that regard is if I pick up items, I want to add some kind of a dissolve shader on it, and particles that poof, that go up, and then you have it in your inventory, basically, to add a bit more magic into the mix. Why are you always getting stuck over here? Why are you even going there? Damn it. Why is he going there? Stupid. Stupid. What was it? I think it's the tailor. What's the issue here? Why do you want to go over there? Oh, these should be okay. Mostly. Yeah, could be that he can't walk up the stairs again, which causes a lot of issues sometimes. I still need to fine-tune my my navigation system, and the nav mesh, and my characters moving on the nav mesh. It's definitely something I still need to do, but so far it kind of works. The immersion is a bit broken by the dialogue system, because it's a huge block that pops up. but I'm not quite sure if I want to change this to so that you don't see the player basically in the dialogue system. The moment you're kind of thrown out, that's the player character, that's the guy you talk to, and the camera switches. I kind of want to have this in there because I also kind of want to give the player options to change some aspects of the visual stuff. I mean, I could do this differently. I could just not switch the camera. So if I go to player, where is it? Dialogue. Just remove that part. Yeah. So if I talk to him now, then the camera doesn't switch, and we can talk to him like this. This would get rid of some of the issues that I have with the camera and be more immersive, but I also didn't like this that much for some reason. Yeah, not quite sure why this happens. Yeah, and this is one of the trigger issues here, that at the trigger, the guard should walk to you and then talk to you. That's something I haven't in here yet. Even though I think that's something we can add. No, I can't add that yet because we don't have the conditions for that in the AI. We do have start dialogue, do dialogue, dialogue end. We have the controller data here. Yeah, we have the behavior tree, blackboard, and all that stuff set up for the controller. And in the controller, I'm setting blackboard values. Yeah, at the moment the line of sight doesn't work properly. Yes, that's part of the issue. They do not stop properly when they see you and walk towards you. In some cases, if you walk past someone and he doesn't see you or doesn't recognize you properly, that person keeps walking and it causes a lot of issues. No, sadly not. One thing I need to change is the way they see their surroundings, and have this AI perception component here, which is a standard component, but I still need to figure out how to work with it. Here we have these AI perception stimuli source, and it's a bit strange because it doesn't really do what I want it to do. I mean, I have this function I can use on target perception updated, and this is partially working, but really unreliable. And I have no real control over the distance and all that stuff. I mean, I can do a bit of... I can break this and then calculate the distance and all that stuff, but I'm not quite sure how to work with that. I still need to read up on that and fix those issues. And the dialogue walking is also part of that issue. I mean, if I'm not using the AI perception, I could use this slightly simpler with a bit of math directly in the behavior tree. And the behavior tree is also something I really need to put work in, because at the moment there are different components to this. There are tasks, which is this here. Then we have these, which are selectors or sequences. Then we have the decorator, and then we have services. And so far I haven't used any service yet. And the thing is, the service I can use to continuously check stuff. Yeah, okay, you read some messages on the board. There are only two, but they repeat a lot. Um, Clicked on the teleporter nearby, and it showed you the last message you read on the board. What? That's strange. Okay. Hello, how are you? I'm fine. Let's have a look at that. That's really strange. So if you click on this teleport platform here, you get the same message as thing you read here, okay? Let's see if that is happening for me as well. I think I know what's happening there. Yeah, okay. I just changed the system here. um, yep. That's quite interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. Um, so it's probably something with this. Okay, let's edit that. What are we doing here? So we are spawning nodes. Direction ID. Yeah, those are the IDs for the texts for the nodes there. And if we begin play, we spawn the nodes. The nodes themselves are interaction base actors. Yeah. And here we are calculating that, so and here we get the ID. I mean, okay, the system here is something I might need to change this because I'm just spawning in a bunch of nodes and causing probably a lot of issues in that regard. Wait, there should be... Okay, no, they are hidden, I think. Yeah, they are hidden. They're not public and not editable there, so... Where am I setting those? Oh, okay, so that's the... Okay, so we are reading a table here. Yeah, okay. So for each of these, I'm adding the text. So they should be different, but I only have 2 texts assigned at the moment. And then we add the... And for each of the entries there, we spawn a node, which is an interactive base actor with the ID set properly. So, the problem at the moment is that I changed a few things. And I just noticed that I need to add more conditions to the changes I made. Because I click this, but I don't get the entry, but I get this. Get a journal entry for that. Don't get a pop-up with all that. So I can click this a lot of times, and if I go back to my journal... Okay, so I'm only getting those 2. Yeah, because I'm only adding unique instances here, so we don't get doubles in the list on the array here. But this should pop up because we are reading something. And if I right click this, this should also pop up. That's okay. Because we are examining something. So I need to change the... let's see something else. I need to make sure that these are considered books. But then I have a different interaction type with them, because for books, if I click them, I'm picking them up, buying them. But if I right click them, I'm opening up the book dialog and read them. And for these, if I right click, I get the examine option, and left click, I'm now getting journal entry. So I need to change that. So I shouldn't have changed the base actor, but I should have changed the door. That's what I did wrong. Because it changes a lot of different things that I don't want to change. So let's go to interaction base actor, and go to doors and open that up again as well. So here we changed those. Let's copy that. Put it in here. Let's put that here. And overwrite that. Even though we only need this. It should be in the room next to the recipe. It could be that the mesh is not set up properly and it broke as a result. Let me check that real quick. I think I know what happened there, because if I go to the brewery, yeah, here I changed the world mesh, but I didn't change the data entry for this properly. So if I go to my inventory items, sorry about that. And the item table, we have the first item up there. So let's mark this and change the barrel. That could be one cause. Another cause could be that it fell through the ground. Yeah, it's because of the last selected actor. And if that's not reset properly, it causes that issue. So let's have a look. Yeah, I know. But once you look at the floor or a wall, it should reset. If it doesn't do that, then there are other things wrong with it. But let's see, let's jump in here. Ah, there you just saw where the barrel went. For some reason it fell through the floor. And I know exactly why it fell through the floor. Because this barrel here doesn't have collision. I changed the mesh, but I didn't give it collision. Yay! That's all it needs. Hopefully. Plop, and there we go. Now I can pick it up. I can also taste it. And get drunk. I noticed that as well, but I don't know how it is caused or how I could fix it. Yay, we found the end game thing. But we are stuck here because I don't have the right key for the door. But we can cheat a bit. We can just walk through walls that I haven't set yet, so yay! Escape! So are we veering off to the right already? Not sure. Slightly. That could also be the mountains here. No, but I know the effect or issue that you are talking about. And like I said, I don't know why. but at the moment I can't reproduce it. Yeah, no. Not sure. Okay, so the barrel is fixed. Let's add that here. Okay, so let's see, time-wise, we still have a bit of time. So let's save this. And let's go here and change this back to the way it was before. So let's open up. Let's remove that. Damn it, how did I do this before? So, false. Title, this. Add to viewport. Okay, so we have this happen here, and if it has a condition, we want to set that. So game mode. Custom. That one. And I think here. Set condition. It's part of the condition list. change here. If that's true, we set the condition to true and the condition name should be this. I think that was the way it was before. If I had proper version controls set up, I could have just rolled back, but I have set it up, but I need to upload it properly. And it's only on a different hard drive, not on a different computer. So it's not a good setup. Just because the project is huge. So this should be back to its original thingy here. So if we have it, we have a locked door. We should get journal entry. But if we do anything else, which I can't do at the moment because there's nothing else to interact here with properly. Let's fly over here again. That's what we get from this. Right click didn't change. Left click here doesn't do anything. Yeah, but we should. Okay, then it's really another issue that the last selected actor is not cleared properly. So let's go. Yeah. And into the event graph. So if the input is not valid, we should set the last selected actor to be empty. Hello. Let's see if that works. Another thing is that I also need to change the way the whole system here works, because at the moment we are doing a line trace. Yeah, it is set up to be nice. And I mean, it should already, so the hit actor should be empty. That's strange. Okay, yeah, the issue is we didn't reset it, so let's do this here. Thank you for the follow. And if we go back in here, let's first try if that fixes the issue we had. Yeah. Okay, that fixed it. But we still have this issue. That if we don't hit anything new, we get this. Because it's never reset. Ooh, thank you. Thank you very much. You're very kind. Okay. So. What I am... Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm doing nothing if the line trace doesn't hit anything. So if we go here, we could probably see that. I'm not quite sure if it shows up in a new window. Okay, it does show up. Okay, that's what the line trace is doing, but it has a limited range only, so... If I hit this, then we still have something selected and it's still set up properly. Yep. So we need to also do the same thing here, I think. So if this is... So if this is false, it should also reset that. Yeah, definitely. Ask away. Yep. Okay, that fixed that issue. Good. It's totally fine. In most cases, game dev streamers like if people ask questions, because then they can talk about their game, and that's what they like to do a lot. So questions are always welcome. And it's kind of quiet in here because I don't have a lot of people here, and a lot of them don't talk. They just watch. It's also something that happens a lot with game dev streams, that people are just watching, which is totally fine. Or there are people that talk a lot, but at some point don't like to talk anymore. Happens as well. So, ask your questions. But that should fix the issue that I had earlier with the interaction, stuff like that. Yep. Definitely. So if we don't hit anything with our line trace, then it's also reset. That was an issue I was playing around with earlier. I was thinking adding a timer, or this is a lot easier. So in combination with this here, so that we hide the icon and then set this to be empty basically. Kind of. In the base interaction is line traced based. I'm not really working with specified channels, to be honest, but I could set that up if I wanted to. Yeah, because this over here shouldn't be anything you can interact with, so it's just scenery. Or just scenery up to the point that you you teleport to it. It's just a location basically. and the platform is just there so that you see where you would land. But what I'm doing here is the trace channel is just visibility. Thank you. Even though some people think that they don't look that good, but it's still a mishmash mixture of different materials here that I still need to go through and fix. For instance, these walls here, this material is based on noise textures and is world aligned, so it's a bit more expensive than this stone texture here. And this is a bit more stylized, but it also looks good. So I used that. I'm at the moment kind of changing some of these textures around and see which one looks better. There's also a few, if you look at this lamp here, this one has the right materials on it, and this one over here still has the old material on it, which was also based on noise textures there. But if I change this, it should have the right material. Let's see, what else did I fix here? Okay, that wasn't on this card, so let's add it. Yeah, I like Trello. It's free and easy to use. So the exploration trigger radius is too big. Might be too big or not clear enough what triggered them. Let's have a look. They are all the same size and they are quite big. This is the trigger for those. Trigger here. Trigger back here. During the week, yes. On the weekends, no. I'm trying to do at least 3 hours work on the game each weekday so that I can at some point finish the game, hopefully, before it kills me, kind of. Or I'm too old to work on it. I've been working on the game for over 2 years, and I still want to finish it, but there's a lot still to do. And the way I work on it is sometimes a bit strange for people who know a bit about proper working on games. Because I work on it in my way, and that's not the way that industry professionals would work on games. I don't have a game design document in the background of it. I don't really plan out what I want to do each stream. I'm just jumping in and work on something that I like. If I get stuck, I jump to something else. And there are a few other issues that, in most of the cases, I don't know what I'm doing. And kind of fighting against that a bit. Ooh, nice. It's kind of a love-hate relationship, to be honest. It drives me mad like hell sometimes. If I don't know what's happening and things break for no apparent reason. And then I kind of like to walk away from the game, but at the same time I want to finish it and fix all the issues and finish it to be done with it at some point. But I'm not sure when that will happen. I've set a few deadlines, and most of them I couldn't keep. Because of few different reasons. Things just broke for no apparent reason, or I took some time off because I kind of burned out, but not really. I just thought that I was burnt out, but I just needed a break. Small one, and then everything was fine again. Yeah, for everyone who's new here, there is a version that you can play of this game on my Discord. And the latest version is from yesterday. And I hope to be able to fix all the bugs this week, work a bit on it, and get the next version up next weekend, so that I've kind of weekly builds. I still need to figure out how to do proper incremental weekly builds, but that's another aspect of that. I don't really have much experience with JavaScript, apart from the fact that it's bit easier than stuff like C# or C++, Java, and stuff like that. But like I said, I don't have real experience with it myself. At the moment, for this project, I'm just using Blueprints, which is a visual scripting language for Unreal Engine. And looks like this. It's a lot of spaghetti if you get something like this, for instance. Yummy spaghetti. Even though that's not that much of a problem. I mean, this here, but that's just debug dialog that we don't need. And if you have a lot of stuff that you put in as data, then it could be a bit more tedious. Let's see. I mean, okay, the big graphs look a bit different. For instance, this one here. This is a bit more spaghetti prone. This Nava, yeah, check it out and see if it runs for you. If you have any feedback, any issues, if you find bugs, type them in the Discord directly, either in feedback or in game builds, so that I can find them easily and can go through and filter that out. I still need to link this so that you can have a look at it and check if the bug is already there, but to be honest, I'm not quite sure how I can set this up so that only I can edit it, but it's still public. I don't know. And Brennan, yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't. I have programmed a bit in Lua, but only really simple stuff and only once or twice. And I wasn't really a fan of it, but that's mostly because I'm used to the syntax of C, C++, Java, and C Sharp. And I kind of like that more than Lua, which looks like text to me. And I haven't done anything with Python or Ruby, so I can't comment on that. How to use teleporters? You pick up the teleport crystal at the beginning of the game and then press T, or go in your inventory and use the teleport crystal. That's how you use teleporters. The teleport platforms are just destinations. It's something that I still need to add as kind of a tutorial text so that people know, okay, you pick that up and now you can teleport around. I haven't done that yet. Arrays start at 1? Ugh. Okay, like I said, I'm used to C syntax and languages that are like that. Yeah, if you follow the road, then it's slightly longer. Um, if you go straight there over the mountains, it's yeah about 5 minutes or so. But there will be at least 2 encounters on the road. That should add a bit of time. And a few other things that you might find. You are following the road. But you should have been stopped by the knight on the road, and then you should have run into an ambush. Did that not happen? Let's start up the build and see what happens there. We can also kind of time it ourselves here. Okay. Okay, yeah, if you just run past all that, yes, okay, then you didn't encounter that, that's true. Yeah, this here's the last build that I have. It's the one that you can download as well. Okay, yeah, this is... We still have this issue in here, so I had this door locked, but wanted to click on this one. So let's pick up the key. Let's open this. Let's talk to this guy. Let's let the crate here freak out. Yeah, okay, this is a bit annoying if this is rolling around too much. Okay. I think 5 minutes for crossing over most of the map is not that much. Come on. I'm kind of fighting against my pressure plate, but on the build on the next build it will be a lot easier to place this crate there. Okay, here we go. Can turn off the light here and we have nice firelight in here. And there's also feedback on this so that we know something happened. Okay, now we turn around and we see that something happened. Yeah, the pacing might be a bit off, that's true. But I also think that in those 5 minutes you can also look around and follow another path on the side, come back to the main road and stuff like that. I mean, maybe it's just that I'm used to playing games like that and I don't see the aspect that the kind of that an empty world is not interesting, kind of. Um, yeah, maybe. Um, like I said, most of it is not done yet and needs to be balanced and stuff like that. So let's kind of click through this. Part of the main quest is done. And if I press T, I have the ancient temple here. And if I go on my inventory, I have the teleport crystal here. And if I click on use, it's the same as if I press T. Yeah, and here we have one of the issues with the dialogue camera, because perfect example of system. She's not stopping, but she's in her talk animation. And that's why she's sliding around like that. And since the distance was not set between the two characters, the camera was kind of spawned underground here, and you can see the skybox, the lower part of the skybox that you shouldn't see at all. That's kind of the issue that is in the dialogue system. I mean, it's a bit different here. It's what the camera is doing is trying to find a point between the player and the NPC and places the camera in the middle between those two. And For instance, if I talk to this guy while kind of looking over his shoulder, it looks like that. If I talk to him here, it looks like that. Even though in this case he's walking on. So if I completely skip over all the encounters there, it should be a bit faster. But I can only go this way because I exactly know where the brewery is, so if you do this otherwise you can get lost. Well, not really lost, but it would take longer to get to where you want to go. And I'm getting lost in this forest sometimes myself, which is not a good thing, but okay, yeah, let's not get stuck between trees. And there should be a brewery over here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, the eyes are still a big issue. And most of the animations are not that good. There's a lot of issues with poke through, and some of the ways they stand are not that. Yes, I am. And for some reason, yeah, all these trees and chairs don't have collisions set up for them. Yeah, that's 428 work days, so it's roughly 4 to 6 hours in average. Some of the days were longer, some were shorter. Most of the time during the week, in the last few months, I just had about 3 hours per day that I could work on the game. But there were days where I worked on 9 hours, 10 hours, something like that. But I kind of do everything wrong that I can do with this project. First thing is I started the project in Unity. And then that was in February 2016. And then in October 2016 I switched over to Unreal Engine. Kind of threw away most of my progress and started basically from scratch. Because there were a few issues with Unity that I couldn't really fix, and I wanted to work with Unreal Engine. And then I'm working on it alone. And I'm doing almost anything. So the only thing that I'm not doing is sound and music. Everything else I'm creating on my own. Or in case of the characters, I used plugin for Blender to kind of create the characters and then created clothing for them in Marvelous Designer, which I had the 2 months, I think one test month and another month I paid. And the funding goal that I have there is for the full version, so that I can use it a bit more often. But the thing is, I am not an artist. I'm a writer, designer, programmer, but not an artist. And that's why most of my characters have a lot of issues, and some of my meshes had a lot of issues. But I learned a lot of stuff during the project and became better over time and with help from viewers. So that's a good thing. For instance, these creatures I created on my own, and I also created the animations on my own. And they have a few issues. Let's see, can I get in here? Yeah. Somehow was a way that I could get in here. Oh, there we are. The issue is that these creatures should have fur, but for some reason it doesn't show up properly. So they are running around naked. And the animations are broken. There are 3 animations: walk cycle, kind of walk cycle, an eating animation, and an idle animation. And that's the walk, even though it's not timed properly with their speed, so it looks a bit strange. And there are issues with their legs, that they are twisting around a bit too much. But I like them nonetheless. It's my own creation. My own little creepy chicken creature thingy. Yeah, the thing is, they should look a bit different. If we go in here, animals, anteater. This is what they should look like. But for some reason, once I animate them, the fur is completely gone. So I need to look into ways to create proper fur for them that stays there when they're animating. Yeah, and they're kind of, yeah, they're naked. But when they're animated, they're kind of tiny. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's because I exported the um, animations with the wrong settings. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, we can't see it here. It's there, but it's really tiny. And they have pulsating eyes. Could also give them slightly more polys and open up the mouse so that in their eating animations they pick up parts of the trees or berries with their kind of snout thingy here and put it in their mouse. And if I had the mouse animated as well, I could open the mouse, put that stuff in there, and then close the mouse. But it's okay at the moment. They're yeah, 3,000, nearly 3,000 triangles. So I think they are fine this way. They don't need more. Okay. So let's check if the door works properly now. Even though I'm not sure if we need the failed attempt in our journal. Even though maybe we need that, so that we know we need a key for a specific door. Let's see, where are we? We're in town, okay. It's a mixture between an anteater and a kiwi. That's that's the image I had in mind. But then the snout grew a bit longer and kind of changed to an elephant snout. Okay, so we unlock that. But we don't get it more than once, okay. I need to fix the sliding here. It's a bit funny, but it's not good as well. Yeah, I will stop soon myself. for today. I will be back tomorrow. And then I think I kind of need to jump into AI stuff. Because I really need to fix the dialogue thing. I need to fix the way they spot the player and what they do when they spot the player. And I think I need to add a bit more logic to it and kind of go through the behavior tree and make it a bit more thought through. Yes, even though today I was a bit earlier, but that's usually the time where I start. So there's one complete thing that I never used. So this service node here could change a lot of the logic that I have in here and simplify it a lot. So that's something I want to look into tomorrow, and then we can also fix the thing that we see the player or not and move to the player properly and stuff like that. But like I said, that's something for tomorrow, and for today I need a break. Yes, I'm tired. So, see you guys tomorrow or whenever you stop by again. So, bye bye.